Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Really happy to be having back on the show a fighter who's going to be one half of the amateur 170-pound welterweight bout for 247 Fighting Championship that goes down Christmas week, December 21st at the Monroeville Convention Center. Very excited to have this fighter on. He's been on the show many times fighting out of Indio Dojo, but this is the first time he's been on the show with his new nickname. So very excited for the first time with the nickname to announce the American Bulldog, Evan Dreucci. Evan, welcome back to the show.
What's going on, Luke? I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me on again.
Always an honor to have you on the show. It's been fun. I remember having you on before your amateur debut, and here you are now fighting for a well-deserved 170-pound welterweight bout. You won the title eliminator over Dan Walters a little bit ago with an impressive triangle choke, really showing off the jiu-jitsu that I know Indio Dojo is known for because of your head coach, Danilo. Just some really, really slick BJJ. Great fight all around. And I can't wait to get to the title fight. But before that, you've added a nickname. I don't think you had a nickname before. So how did you get or come up with the American Bulldog as your nickname? And obviously now you're using that as your nickname in this fight.
So my school that I went to in high school, that was our mascot. We were Bulldogs. I got a pet bulldog. And then my coach, it was funny. It was a joke. I was gaining weight in between my fight camps, and I took a selfie with my dog. I had a little bit of a chubby face, and he said I looked like my dog. And then everybody just started calling me Bulldog at the gym. So I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty good name, the American Bulldog. You know, those dogs are vicious. They protect. You know, I thought it fit me well for my fighting style and everything. So just stuck with it.
There you go. And what's your bulldog's name, your pet?
Brutus.
Brutus.
Yeah.
Named after the Roman that was involved in the assassination of Caesar?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I didn't name it after that, but yeah, that's the same name.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you. Yeah. I didn't know if you were tying it back. Definitely a great name, a vicious name for, I'm sure, a very lovable dog in Brutus. Your American Bulldog. It's a great nickname. It's always fun to see people that come up with names. I think of Anderson the Spider Silva. You know, that was a great nickname for him, but it was kind of like once he got it, that became kind of what you knew him as, the Spider. So the American Bulldog is a great name. Obviously fits your fighting style, like you said, is close to your heart because you graduated from a school at Bulldog, and obviously having your own Bulldog, it's a great connection all around. Hi to Brutus. Okay, so now let's get to the fight itself. Brawl in the Burgh 25, massive event to close out 2024 for 247 Fighting Championship. There's a pro title fight at lightweight at 155, and you're, to my knowledge, the only other title fight. There's a pro title fight, you're the amateur title fight. How did this fight come together? I know you've been, obviously, you won the title eliminator, but as far as getting on this card, fighting your opponent, how did this fight come together? How long ago did you say yes to this and then start talking about your, being on this card and fighting for the belt?
So, yeah, like you said, I won that title eliminator back in February. There's a couple things in that fight that me and my coaches, we realized we needed to work on. There were some holes in my game, and so we thought the best way to do that would have been to take a kickboxing tournament. So I trained for a kickboxing tournament, WKAs, went down to Delaware in August, and ended up taking second there. Filled a lot of the holes in the game, and then I came back. I wanted to recover for like a month because those kickboxing tournaments can be very unforgiving. They're brutal. And then we started after like a month and a half. Then we started talking to 247 again, and then we got a matchup with Artis Smith, and that's pretty much how it went. I'm ready to go.
Well, you've always been a great mindset fighter. You train out of Indio Dojo, got incredible coaching. You are the American Bulldog in your mindset. I think you've always been a guy willing to fight. For you, what does it feel like? Because I had you on the show. You've always been very kind with your time to call a show. I know fighting for the title eliminator meant something for you because every fight matters. Every fight, there's no throwaway fights. But just coming up the rankings, 247, acknowledging the fact that I believe every one of your MMA fights have been for them. And, you're really a guy that represents Indio and Pittsburgh and 247 very well. So when you got the win over a great fighter, and you knew that you were going to be fighting for the belt, how much does fighting for the belt matter? Obviously, it's a great opponent. It's a great matchup. But do you put stock in the sense that this is kind of the first time you can kind of get something in your amateur career where you can say that, you're doing everything right, you're kind of pushing up? I think that's what a title fight as an amateur should mean, is that you're at the very top of the amateurs and you're ready to go pro or ready to fight for more belts at the amateur level. So what is your thoughts on the belt?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I set small goals for myself when I first started. I wanted to get out of that novice amateur, get to 3-0. Then I wanted to, get a win, get a couple wins in the advanced amateur, and then eventually I wanted to fight for a title. I wanted to be a champion in every organization I was a part of. So this is we're on the right track to do that. In terms of the actual title, it really doesn't change much because I always train like I'm a champion. I train hard every day. It's not like I'm training harder just because I got a title fight. Like, this is just another day in the office for me, So I think you can expect the same, ferociousness, my fighting ability. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna try to finish the fight. And yeah, you guys can expect a great show.
I feel like anytime you are in the cage, it is a great show. You're 4-0 now. You do set great, like you just explained, you set great achievable goals. I think that's something important for the mindset, is you got to set those achievable goals before you get to the really big one. And so great job, being 4-0, another advanced amateur fight. In your advanced amateur fight versus Walters in your last fight, did you feel that extra minute? That there's some rules differences, but the length goes from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Do you feel like an extra minute, and eventually at the pro level it's 5 minutes, but do you feel like that extra minute helps you? I've seen you. You are quite the cardio machine too. So what is your thoughts on already having an advanced amateur fight in as far as the length goes? Because your fight versus Artis Smith could be short. If you get a finish, it could end up being 9 minutes. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that doesn't bother me much at all. My conditioning's there. I'm always big on my conditioning. And honestly, it just gives me more time to work in the setup and just showcase my skills. So I think it's way better. I'm actually excited when I move pro to have 5-minute rounds. Yeah, it's going to be great because I like I said, it's a lot better because I can get more reads and really set up my attacks way better. Because in those 2-minute rounds, it's just like, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, there's no waiting around. There's no feeling the guy out, nothing like that. Like, you got to set that pace and you just got to go. Because if you screw around for too long, then you might end up losing that round pretty easily because you didn't put any output out, or there's nothing, you didn't put any pace on anybody, nothing like that. So I like the 3-minute rounds a lot.
Sure, makes perfect sense. And obviously, once you're at the pro level, you would have more time to work, and there's layers that you can work more when you have more time. Talk about your opponent. He's coming in from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the eastern side of the state. Trains out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Bethlehem and has a 3-1 record. You're 4-0. That's a great matchup. What do you know about him? And do you kind of have, you don't have to share it, but do you have a game plan that is geared towards him, or is it kind of a balance between a game plan or just making yourself improve from what you said that you guys were working on in your holes from your last fight? That was a big win, but you mentioned that as one of the things you're working on.
Yeah, it's all of the above, man. I mean, I know he's gonna knock out in a submission. I'm just a little baby blue belt, you know. He's a brown belt, so that's gonna be fun to test my skills there. Um, yeah, and I'm not really worried about his him being a brown belt because I know we got some of the best grappling, some of the best jujitsu, some of the best instruction in the country in the world. So yeah, there's really no issue there, man. I'm just excited to really prove myself and showcase my skills on December 21st.
I mean, that's what makes you so entertaining because you always want to show off your skills. Who are the people that you want to thank as far as that are physically in your corner or just part of your training camp, part of your home support system, all those things as we look towards the next 2 weeks going to go by quickly, and then you're going to be in the cage for the belt. It's a beautiful belt. And obviously you're taking on a great opponent. So who do you want to thank coming into this? We just last week was Thanksgiving. I'm sure you had focused on that. So what are your thoughts as far as
There's so many people in my corner, man. It's really it's a blessing. Working with Danilo Villafort, Mikey Hewitt, Coach Uncle Jeff. I want to thank my training partners, Ken Burrs. You know, I have there's a wide variety of I can hold my own with there. Jay Manning, you know, his striking's really good, and I'm holding myself there. I see that, and then the Chase sisters, you know, their speed, their karate, like there's not a technique or a style that's not a gym that we don't see. Andy Vaughn, he's a really good purple belt. We got to his grappling's like he's really good. He was a pit wrestler. And then I got so many sponsors now. So we got Fest 88 River House, we got National Pike Chiropractic, B Graphics, we got Singaris Electric, Off the Cuff with Lucky, we got White Belt Black Coffee. He does a like a blog and stuff. He's a real good guy. Goes to our gym, Mike Womble. We got GRM Contracting again. They're real good too. I got so many people in my corner now, and it's amazing. I'm glad too. I was able to get a banner made for this fight and get some shirts made for this fight, so I'm able to really start helping out with like you know, advertisement and stuff for all these sponsors more than just making posts and stuff on my social media. So it's real nice.
Well, that's great. You know that I always think that's cool. The banner, the support banner behind you. This is your first title fight. It makes sense to kind of you're 4-0. You're climbing the ladder, both in who you fight and also your topology ranking. You've got your goals set. You're doing everything right. It's always an honor having you on the show. Obviously, a shout out to everybody at Indio Dojo. You guys are a great team, a great gym. Been expanding geographically, I think, you know, as far as your gym goes. So great stuff there. And of course, just a couple shows ago, the Chase sisters got on 247 and both won at the pro level. So you guys are just doing everything right. Really awesome having you on the show. Can't wait. People need to get their tickets from 247fighting.com. Give Evan credit or get them directly from him if he's still getting tickets out. If you're going to be out of the area and not being able to see it in person, download the 247 Live app. It's a fantastic 247 Fighting Championships app on any of the app stores and is the best way to watch the pay-per-view on any smart device. So thanks so much, Evan Dreucci, for coming on, the American Bulldog. Evan Dreucci for coming on the show. This is Luke Payson from MMA Fancast. Really fantastic having you. The amateur 170-pound title fight for 247 Fighting Championship. Brawl in the Burgh, 25, December 21st at Monroeville Convention Center. Evan, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks so much, Luke. You have a good night.
You too, brother.